process of getting this fight? How long ago did they call you up, et cetera, et cetera?
Well, it was about a little under 2 weeks, so I got the call about Artem Lobov, and I accepted right away. I just had to check my weight a little bit, and I had a few extra pounds to go than I usually do, but it's all good, man. I'm a professional. I love fighting. This is what I do. So every chance a short notice fight comes up, I will be available to take it. The weight cut's easy, and I'm there, and now we're here.
Yeah, I think that was my personal first reaction. Like, okay, not surprised Michael Johnson took this fight, but like, can you make 145 on the shorter notice? Was there much concern? I know you said it's good, but have you like acclimated your body to make 145 if you need to on the short notice?
Yeah, surprisingly, and I was really surprised. I woke up when I got the call. It was like 175 or something like that, and I was like, 30 pounds. I was like, okay. I was like, screw it, let's go. And it just happened. My weight started coming off, and it felt good. Literally within like a week and a half, 2 weeks, I had just as hard as a camp as probably somebody with a 6 to 8 week camp did. I got sick, I got hurt, I was going through tough times, I was getting stressed out, so all that combined within 2 weeks was a lot, but I feel good, I feel great, and I'm ready to perform.
Artem, we spoke with him not long ago, he said he chose you. He said he got multiple options and he picked this fight because he wanted the toughest matchup for him, because that's kind of his track record.
Good for him.
Do you appreciate that, to kind of hear that from him?
Absolutely, yes, I'm glad he chose me. He called me the chosen one, I guess. I'm the new Woodley walking around here. But it's great, Artem knows that, I come to fight, he comes to fight, so if he wants a tough fight, then, that's what he's got. But in anything, I'm thinking he picked me because he's trying to make a name off of me and get bigger. I'm probably the biggest name he's ever fought against, and he sees the output if he beats me. But it's going to be a long shot for him beating me. I'm fully prepared, and I'm coming in here prepared for everything.
He also said if you do miss weight, he's going to let you keep the 20%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. He must be getting some of that Connor Baypack money from it if he can afford to let me keep my 20%. But we don't need to worry about that. Like I said, I'm a professional. I've never missed weight, and I'm not going to miss it on short notice. That's the first thing that we have to do as professionals and fighters. We have to come in here and make the weight. That's part of our job. I don't consider the fight my job. I don't consider that work at all. My training's probably more my work. The fight's my fun time, and for me to enjoy all the hard work I've put in. So the weight cut's my work, and that's about finished.
As much as, like you said, he might be trying to make a name off you, and he kind of admitted that, do you feel that there's an opportunity here? Because he's got a higher profile. Like, if you look at his record, it's not the best, but all of a sudden he's got this huge profile. You're in a co-main event, so is there an equal opportunity here for you as well?
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be a fool not to think of that. With all the hype going around with the thing with Connor and all the Russians and everything, and it kind of starting because of Artem. I don't know. I've never paid too much attention to it, but he does have a huge hype around him and a big following. So, vice versa, I can come in and make a big statement, and even though his record isn't that good, he's still a very tough opponent. When you look at it, we got around the same losses. He might not have fought the competition that I've faced, but he's still at the top of the peak when you get to the UFC and the promotion. So he's doing something right to be here and still be here.
You said after your last performance you needed a better performance this time out. So what's the key Saturday night to doing that?
Staying focused, really getting my game plan, staying sharp, moving on my feet and my toes, coming out here looking for a finish and knowing when to attack, not getting any bad positions like I fell into last fight, and that kind of slowed my momentum down. But like I said, it was really good for me to get that win. I pushed the bricks off my chest just a little bit, man, about a half inch. I still got a lot to go and a lot to work, and I'm on my way back up. This is a new Michael Johnson. You can say 2.0, 2.5, 3.0, however you play it, but I'm on a new mindset, and it's only wins from here on out.
But is it possible to win on a so short notice to play against this opponent?
Is it possible to win?
Yeah.
Absolutely, of course, man. Every day is possible to win. I come here to win. I don't come here to take losses. I don't come here to give a half-assed performance. No, I came here to dominate. I came here to steal the show, and I came here to show everybody that Michael Johnson's back to the man that he used to be, knocking everybody out and taking short notices and people being afraid to fight him.
Because people from the outside might say, oh, they had a 6-week training camp compared to 2 weeks. It's hard for him strategically. Can you explain that to them, how you see that?
Yeah, It's just simple. He went through 6-8 weeks. I went through 2 weeks. Whose body's fresher? You know, I mean, he's went through hell for that long. You know, I've only went through it for a week or so. You know, my training camp was just tightening everything up. You know, getting my lungs, that little breather, making sure my defense is tight, and sharpening my tools. You know, that's it. I come in fresh and ready to go.
The fight is in Moncton, New Brunswick. It's not like the other place like Montreal or Toronto. How do you feel being here, and how do you were you able to engage with the fans and stuff like that?
Yeah, I feel great. You know, I haven't had any of the fans here yet. I haven't seen any of them, but I love coming to new places that the UFC has been. You know, I love being one of the guys to open up a new era for a new city for the UFC. You know, so when this city talks about the UFC coming here, I want them talking about, man, I saw that Michael Johnson fight and it was incredible. You know, I'm so glad he came. I'm so glad he came and fought on the card. So, you know, I'm privileged and blessed to be on this card.
How have the Artem's fans reacted to you since the fight was booked? He has a very passionate fan base. I mean, so a lot of people love him. A lot of people call him the GOAT. I don't know if that's kind of a backhanded compliment or whatever. But how have you been received since the fight was booked?
Honestly, when I got the fight book, I shut down all my social media. I didn't look at one thing at all because those are just distractions. And with it being 2 weeks for me to get ready for this fight, that's all I need to focus on in this fight. I don't need to be on social media and reading good things about how I'm going to crush him or bad things about how he's going to knock me out. You know, I don't need that stuff clouding my mind and my judgment, you know. So either good or bad, I don't want to hear it. You know, Artem's a tough guy, and I'm focused to fight him, and that's the only thing I need to be focused on.
That's interesting, because his record, I think he's sub 500, 13-14, something like that. But it feels like if you win this fight, just because of all the attention that's on him, the co-main event spot, might do more for you than beating like the 15th ranked guy that no one knows. Do you feel that way too?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one of the reasons I took this fight, because of his following and the big, you know, hype that he has kind of around him. You know, it's perfect position for me to get in here, get a big win, put a statement, and then, so, you know, some hype start coming around my name now. I don't think anybody's finished him. He went 5 rounds with Cub, if I'm not mistaken, and, you know, Cub's been a top 5 featherweight for years. You know, he's one of the greatest. So I come in here and finish this guy and nobody's done it. There's definitely going to be some talking.
He said he's not sure if Conor is going to show up, but it seems like there's a possibility. You've seen his last few fights, Conor beat outside the cage, you know, heckling his opponents, saying some potentially bad stuff. Have you prepared yourself for that possibility?
I don't give 2 fucks about Conor. If he comes, if he doesn't come, it's not my problem at all. Man, I'm fighting Artem Lobov. Like I said, he's not on my mind. You know, he might need to be sitting down somewhere going over that loss and how Khabib beat him and his team in one night. You know, I don't think he needs to be worried about me fighting Lobov at all.
It's kind of interesting because, you know, after the fight with Conor and Khabib, people still think, you know, maybe you gave Khabib his toughest fight, or you kind of exposed his potential flaws the most. Do you feel that way? Do you still feel like, you know, you're at number 1 on the list in terms of giving him a challenge?
Yeah, it shows, you know, and I wasn't comfortable in that fight, and I still hurt him. You know, I was thinking more about his wrestling. But keep this in mind, and this is for sure, I will face Khabib again, and this time it's going to be a different scenario. I'm working my way back up to that lightweight division and to get in there because, I mean, I don't know, 3 of the top 5 guys I've beaten, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, it's definitely on my mind, and he's definitely back in my mind to get that fight again. So once I get done with my business at 45, we're going to be seeing him shortly.
What is that business? Like, when do you finally decide to make the jump back up? What scenario would have to
A big fight comes out and plays, you know, I got to step in and fight. You know, I tried to step in and fight Nate when I heard Dustin had to pull off, but, you know, Nate's kind of iffy, so who knows about that. But like I said, if not a big fight happens, I keep making my way up. 45, I win this title. I go up to 55, fight for that title, whoever has it, and then we'll see what happens.
Kind of on a different track, you know, we got a current season of The Ultimate Fighter going on right now. We keep hearing maybe it's the last, maybe we'll keep going. Is the show still relevant? You're a guy who hounded the UFC to get on that show. What are your thoughts on maybe it ending? Should it keep going?
Yeah, I really do think it should keep going. You know, I definitely think they need to change the people they're putting on the show. You know, I think a lot of the people are going on there just for being on the fame and being on TV rather than being fighters and wanting to get into the UFC. So, but other than that, it's a great platform for young fighters to get noticed and get put in the UFC. You got the publicity. You're on TV once a week for 6 weeks or so, and, you know, you can build up fame and fans and then get in the UFC. So I've always thought that was kind of the easiest way instead of fighting and maybe getting a call. But yeah, you're right. I hounded him. Tried out 3 times, you know, so my consistency and persistence paid off. And now look at me, I'm here now, and I've been in for 10 years or so. So I'm one of like the last of the Mohicans. Been a long career, and it's still going to keep going.
How do you see the main event going between Fulton and Zubaira and Anthony Smith?
Let's see, I hope it goes longer than a minute. You know, I got both these guys' track records, but of course I'm going with my man Vulcan. You know, not only is he my teammate, my friend, but I'll put that aside and just go based off of skill. I think Vulcan has the better skill out of those two. You know, Anthony's definitely a hard hitter, but I think Vulcan has the better hands and foot movement, and he can get in and out quicker. So I see Vulcan winning that.
Michael, I got one for you. So I've seen you at Bellator 204, you're at UFC Moscow, you've been traveling around, cornering some of your teammates. What have you been able to learn out of that?
Man, I learned so much, actually, just watching young fighters come up, and it's kind of brought like a hunger back to myself, you know, being around these guys and watching them come up from the bottom, you know, and it kind of makes me think, like, wow, did I get really a little too comfortable in my positions? And that's where I started losing a little fights. So I've definitely, learned just to watch how much joy they have when they're fighting, you know, and I got to get back to having fun and get back to being happy and being blessed that I'm, fighting in the world's largest MMA promotion, and man, it's going great. So, and traveling around and training, it's incredible to get different looks and to be in different countries and getting different trainer partners, and it's helped me tremendously.